everybody, my name's Mark and I'm from One Tribe based in Western Australia. I run a shamanic school here and across the country, and I've been teaching shamanic healing for 16 years. It is my absolute honour and privilege to speak to you today because this is a topic that just is so near and dear to me, and I'm just so happy that we've got technology to share it. So it's not just for little groups that I work with, 20 people, 40 people. It can go out to whoever needs it. So I'm so grateful that we can share this ancient path. And what I'm looking to share today is the foundation of the shamanic tradition, which is meeting and working with your spirit guides. And that forms the basis of everything, because you make a connection to them and they help you in your life, they help you transform your life. But as you transform and as you clear yourself out and become more human, then they can actually work through you to support and help others. So my dream, my wish for this is that you connect and you have the same experiences that I did, because they totally transformed my life. And maybe one day we'll even meet and work together, and like the hundreds of students that I've worked with, you'll be out there transforming lives too, and just helping, because that's what we need to do right now. We've just got to roll up our sleeves and help each other, and that's why I'm making this video for you today. So I met my shamanic guides when I was in my early 20s, and I went to see this lady, an Australian woman in a middle-aged, very unassuming, but an incredible gift. She could see and perceive beautifully your spirit guides, and it was literally like, you're having a conversation with them. You'd ask a question and she'd go, "Let me check," and get a beautiful answer. So I just suddenly had all the answers, to me personally, because these guides were assigned to me personally. So they know me even better than I know myself, because sometimes we can't see the things that are in our shadow, but our guides can. And I was just so curious, I wanted them to help me. So I would ask, "So what can I do here?" And she would go, "I don't know. I don't know if anyone's ever asked that question in this particular area or that one." And then they'd give me a meditation to do, some tools to work with. So by the time I left that one reading, I had like a whole year's worth of homework. And when I walked in, I felt like I kind of walked in alone. But when I walked out, I felt like I had this team of allies to help me. And yeah, it makes me emotional just thinking that, you might get that too. So I did this for like 10 years. Every year I would go back and get a year's worth of homework, and, Sue became my shamanic teacher as well. And the first guide that I actually worked with was my guardian angel. And I know a lot of people connect with their guardian angels, and she just helped me with everything, from little things like just getting a car parking spot to actually saving my life. And this relationship just didn't happen, overnight. I was skeptical a little bit, the reading was great, I connected to it, but I tested her again and again. I constantly asked her to help, and she did every time. And so I built this muscle of trust. So when I needed it, I called her. And that's the thing, you really want to invite them in and call them in, because they are limited by free will. That's your free will. They can't just interfere and make you change and do the things that might be good for you, because it's free will. We can do anything we want. But when you develop a relationship with these guides, you can ask them, "Help me out." So one day, I'm driving along a little bit too fast, listening to really good music on a dirt road. I wasn't going crazy, but a corner came up which I just didn't see. And I really hope that none of you ever experience this, but I was going around that corner and about to approach that corner, and I knew without a doubt I was not going to make it. I was just going way too fast for that corner. Wasn't speeding, but going too fast. And immediately I called on my guardian angel, like just automatic. And I felt calm, peaceful. I edged on the brakes a little bit. 2 seconds later, I'm fishtailing, I'm spinning, trees all around the place, and ended up slamming against this bank and going up on 2 wheels and this boom, boom, boom. And I was like, whoa, I can't believe I'm alive. I was so grateful and I was so calm. And I got out of the car to inspect the damage, thinking, who cares? I'm breathing, I'm walking, not a scratch on me. And I walked around the car, I looked under the car, I walked around the car twice. Not only was there not a scratch on me, not one scratch on the car. I got back in the car and I drove away. And I knew that was grace. I had no doubt. And I've just developed this relationship with these guides to the point where I'm just at their beck and call now to help and serve others. That's what I do almost all of my waking hours, is just being a servant for that, to help people, because they've helped me so much. The next guide that I worked with was a big Native American guide, and I can share his name because I'm not working with him intimately now. It was Two Winds. And Two Winds was big, but had a very small vocabulary. I could only really ever get 3 words out of him, which was, it is good. And it usually came after a massive personal healing that I'd done. I'd be crying on the floor, a blubbering mess. How do we go? It is good. And that was about it. But I had such a personal, deep relationship with this guy, because this guy was through the period where I was doing all of my deep healing work on myself. Because like a lot of people drawn to healing, I had a lot of trauma, I had a lot to heal. And that relationship was deeper than anyone, even on the physical level. So when that guide left, because guides come and go, I was really emotional. But a new guide had already been introduced to me. And that guide taught shamanic healing, which naturally I ended up doing too. If this guide taught something else, I might be doing beautiful floral arrangements or something completely different. But as it was, as soon as that guide came in, I went home from a big journey and started to teach, and let that guide teach through me. So every guide is different. They all specialize in different things, and it's your own beautiful journey to find out and explore what they do. For example, I have another guide who really works with crow energy, and that guide can help me go right into the deep, dark places and do so with ease and grace and never feel scared. So you'll develop your own relationship. And it's not like you just get one, you can have a whole bunch. Particularly if you've devoted your life to service, then as you grow and serve more and help more in your community, different guides will come along to help you fulfill that job. Now, the main criteria in connecting with a guide is that they love you unconditionally. We're not connecting with an awesome uncle, Uncle Bob, who died a few years ago, loved his cricket or loved sport. No, we're connecting with guys who've really mastered unconditional love. And it's important that you ask them, do you love me unconditionally? And ask them 3 times. A guide that loves you unconditionally will never be offended by that question. Now, if you find after 3 times you're not getting a strong, clear yes, and you can feel it in your heart, say no to them. And ask that the guides that love you unconditionally do come forward. Because it's really important that you have spiritual discernment. You need to know that they have your best interest at heart as well as everybody else's. Okay, are you ready to meet your guides? Now, the process that we're going to do is a pretty simple one. It's been done a lot. You don't need a drum. We will record this drum so it's separate. You don't have to listen to the whole thing. But in terms of going through the phases, pretty simple. We're going to go to a place in nature and we're looking for a portal, some sort of hole. Now, generally speaking, people go down to meet their guides. Sometimes they go up to meet the higher realms, And sometimes it all happens right there. And some people really, in the West in particular, are just obsessed with seeing, with the shamanic side. So know that some of you will see, some of you will feel, some of you will hear, some of you will just know, or it'll be a combination of all of those. Now you might meet your guide in the first couple of drum beats when we go down, and you're done. And then you think nothing happened, but something did. You met your guide. And the thing here is to develop a relationship. It's not a one-off thing. You want to, like I did, ask them to help, call them in, test them. It's okay to be skeptical. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, when you go on a shamanic journey, please don't doubt it. We're going to another realm. We're going to the right side of the brain. You might be like flying. You might be connecting with guides. You might be seeing the light. You might think, am I mad and going crazy? Forget it. You're on a shamanic journey. Anything happens in that realm, but go with it. I love Albert Einstein, our greatest scientist. He said, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. Because knowledge, we're limited by it, but imagination, we're free. So it's not like we imagine things, but be free. Be free in your mind to just go with it, to feel into it, to experience it more deeply and richly, and never look back and doubt it. I went on a shamanic journey and this happened, okay? So it's really good to create a safe space around you, a spiritual space around you. So I'm just going to call the 4 directions around you. I ask you to really ground yourself, anchor yourself. I call to you your guides who love you unconditionally. We acknowledge the sacred land, the custodians of the land, wherever you are. Those that have really mastered unconditional love and can help you to open this door so you can have direct access to this for yourself. So closing your eyes if you haven't already. And just perceive yourself to be in a beautiful place in nature. It might even be a place physically, but it's in its pristine, natural state. And just like you can easily perceive what is the state of your car or your fridge or your room, you're using the same sort of faculty of perception, inner sight. So how does this natural place feel? Is it arid? Is it lush? How's the ground feel? Is it moist or dry? And without any effort, you're drawn to a portal. Now that portal might be a hole in a tree, it might be a cave, it might be a crack in the earth, it might be a pool. And it doesn't matter how big or small it is, it's exactly where you need to be, and you can dive into it to go and meet your guides, or again, you might go up, or it might just happen where you are. It doesn't matter how you journey there, but our intention, we state once again, is to meet our guides who love us unconditionally, only those guides who love us unconditionally. You can ask them 3 times to check, but you really feel it in your heart. May all the obstacles and blocks that may be around you to meeting your guides, may they dissolve right now. May any doubt or fears, persecution from any time or space be lifted from you now. May you perceive your true beauty. Our guides' role, their job, their assignment is to help us to realize that we are just like them, that we are at one with all things, and that love is our true nature. After 3, we're going to dive into this portal, go on this sacred journey in a very held, safe way. After 3, 1, 2, and 3. just ask your guide for a name. And just see what comes, or even make one up. But it's just a way of putting a signature on this energy. So you get a sense when that energy, in whatever form it's come for you, is with you. And that you can call it. So let a name come or make one up, it's totally fine. I might get more details on the name later. Just as easily as we were transported to this place, after 3 we're going to just as easily go back to where we started the journey. It's okay for our guides to come with us because we can pick up the pen and do some writing with them, ask some questions from them. So after 3 we'll journey to the surface. 1, 2, and everyone coming back. 3. Being right back where you started, coming out of that space, and when you're ready, opening your eyes, grabbing that pen and paper, and ask them questions, some good questions. Things like, how can I find more joy in my life? How can I build a deeper relationship with you? What are the main lessons that I'm working through at this time? How can I embody love more? How can I find my personal power? How can I express it in the world? Any pertinent questions for you, but meaningful ones. Ones that are really going to help you. Big picture questions. We'll leave you with that and ask that beautiful space that we open and the 4 directions close the moment that you finish the work that you're doing. So you can visit www.onetribehealing.com.au. We're here to help you. People travel from all over the world now to come and do the training. And we really look forward to supporting you, whether that's meeting you personally or through tools that we're going to offer to support you wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you got a lot out of it. Thank you.